What's up, and welcome back to the Horror Honda. If this is your first time on this channel, this is a channel where I talk about horror movies on my lunch break with no production value whatsoever in my Honda, which is also a nightmare in itself. We're talking no power steering, no AC, rear main seal leak, front brakes are going out. Tons of stuff I gotta fix that's probably more important than bullshitting about horror movies in my car, but it is what it is. So that's the channel. And today, I'm talking about a movie that I'm a little late to the scene on, and that is Evil Dead Rise. And this is a weird one for me as a series, because I enjoy every entry from Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, the remake. I enjoy the whole franchise. They're not my favorite movies of all time, but I don't think any of them were bad. But I never really revisit this franchise. I enjoy them when they're on. Every now and then I'll throw it on, but it just kind of just slips my mind when I think about it. And then I rewatch one of them and I go, oh shit, forgot this franchise is phenomenal, one of the best held together horror franchises, where it just doesn't have a big dip in quality in the middle of it, in my opinion. And so I was skimming through HBO Max last night, and that was just happenstance. Do you have the same problem that me and my wife do? Because I have subscriptions, or I've gotten subscriptions for things, and I'll think I canceled them, or I thought I was watching it for one show or one movie, and then I thought I canceled it. Next thing you know, I clicked the app open. It's still alive and well, still kicking. And so I found that with my Peacock the other day. So I was skipping through my TV and thought, I'm pretty certain I canceled that HBO Max shit, but let's take a look. And of course, I fucking didn't. So I saw Evil Dead Rise on there when I was skimming through, because I've been looking through the same couple apps for horror movies. Now I got a whole new selection. Now I don't want to cancel that shit. So I put it on, and my wife was very hit or miss with the series. She didn't really care for the remake on the first watch, but she did like it second time. I thought the remake was amazing when it came out, and I thought it was a great addition to the franchise, and I was very excited and have heard nothing but good things for Evil Dead Rise, and I'm late to the party on it, but from my horror fans that are obsessed with it to the casual viewer, I got nothing but positive reviews the entire time. So I was going in very happy. I remembered one little scene from the trailer in the bathtub. That's all I knew. And I put it on, and within minutes, it was delivering like an Evil Dead movie should. It was non-stop gripping from the beginning to the end. There was no lollygagging into the story. There was no getting comfortable, getting ready, It was just right out the gate, it's going. And it did not let up. And it gave a sense of just dread that, even when they're introducing these characters and moving forward, that it's already starting on such a down energy that it's not going to go up from here. They're doomed. I don't know who's doomed, but I know all of them are probably doomed to not only, become a deadite or die, but to be in therapy for the rest of their life, because they're about to go through some torment on this one. And did they ever? In this film, I loved the gore. My positives, I guess, for this film would be the effects. I thought it was done well. I thought it was brutal. There were many scenes where I was just tensing up and I was tightening and didn't. And I don't usually do that too much with gore, but there were parts in this that, they were attacking. And like I said, it just never let up. From the time that movie started, I was tense and I was anxious, and it kept that. And I really liked the element twist of, instead of being another cabin in the woods, you're now in a junk high-rise, which just completely changes the stakes. You have a whole different set of issues, where in the woods, you're just so isolated, but at least you're on fucking level ground. In a high-rise, you're kind of just stuck on one platform. You can't get back down now. Elevator's shot, stairs are shot, you're stuck. And so that was a cool element to it, that they kind of mixed up the scenery a little bit from the others. A good change of pace. And I was just blown away. I had to sit and think if this was my favorite of the franchise, because I haven't looked at other reviews, comments, if people think this is a high ranking, a low ranking in the franchise. I'm just going off straight first watch reaction. I thought that was one of the better movies I've seen in a long time, horror-wise. And it made me wonder if I had that same emotion with the others, because I went and saw the remake in theaters, and I really enjoyed it. But it didn't stick with me the way that this one has stuck, because it has so many elements, and subtle elements too. There's scenes where they're creeping through, and they're really hard focused on this character and just creeping around in the background. It's very, if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it. I had to rewind it like 2 times for my wife. I'll say my wife, I missed it. I was trying to throw her under the bus. And they're just lingering back there for just a split second. And it's just enough to catch. And I just, those moments had me so amped up watching it that I don't remember in the remake feeling that. And with the original 3, I never grew up watching them. It wasn't a nostalgia thing. I didn't get turned on to them until I was much older, in probably my late teens, early 20s. So there's not a nostalgia, there's more of an appreciation and a respect for those, because I wasn't there when it came out. I didn't have the nostalgia of watching it as a kid. So that remake really buried itself home as a solid entry. And I'm thinking, just in my own opinion, I'd have to go rewatch the series again. But I think Evil Dead Rise really took the top spot. Just off the top of my head. That's without rewatching. Because other than the little subtle, they had quirks and snippets of humor where you could find some joy, some chuckle out of this, little heartfelt moments, just enough, just a fucking dash to rid away all of the horrific things that are happening to mothers, to children, to innocent bystanders, to everybody. And it's just an amount of pressure that those Deadites put on that whole film of just impending doom, just looking through a peephole and just it's staring right at you. Just lingering in the back. It's your wife, or it's your mother, it's your sister, it's your daughter. No one was safe. Everyone was a suspect. As Randy Meeker, that's his name in Scream. Everyone's a suspect. That was everybody. Everybody was going to get it. Everyone was going to get it in this one, and you could tell from the beginning. And the movements, the way the mother would move, her smile, her face, her giant eyes, just unsettling from start to finish. Where there's times where, like that movie Smile, I was not a big fan of that. I thought the opening scene where she's smiling in the office, I was like, oh, that's a little creepy. That's unnerving, you know. But now another hour and 45 minutes of people smiling and turning their head into car windows and stuff. I was like, I got it, dude. Just they smile. Got it. Whereas this one succeeded at what I think Smile tried to do. Where this was creepy. It was unnerving. It was not natural. To a point that it just stuck with you. Where with Smile, it's not natural, but it seemed so, I don't know, almost comical. With this one, was just utterly dreadful to me to see. Every time they'd go through that peephole, every time she'd pop up, every time she spoke, every time her voice, every time she was in the tub, anything she did was just met with skin-crawling fear for me, honestly. I was just disgust every time she did something. And the way that the movie was able to just keep that foot on the gas the entire time, it was just constricting. Just didn't let up. Just didn't let up the whole time, and you knew it was about to be bad for everybody. And a lot of times I can see in a movie, if I'm watching, I go, oh, this character's going to make it, or this is how they're going to get through this, or this is what they'll have to... You can kind of piece what the next step should be about how to go forward with this. I genuinely hit a point in that where characters started going left and right that you thought were going to make it and be safe. I was like, how the fuck are they going to get out of this? I can't even process what they're supposed to do. Usually you have an idea, well, try to escape, try to do this. I don't know what you're supposed to do. I even hit a point, I was like, try playing the fucking record backwards. I was like, you played it forward one way, just hell, fucking see if you just put that bitch in reverse. Maybe it'll just suck all that shit back up. I would have hit that point of desperation, because I was like, you're surrounded. You've got one outside, one in here, with no means of how to fucking get rid of this. What the fuck? And to the movie's credit, it kept that to where it truly did lose me. And I hope I try to not spoil anything on this, because I know, well, people have probably seen it. I'm probably last to the party, but I had a great time with it. I want to revisit the whole franchise and see where this stacks up. But just off first watch, first reaction last night, had a couple drinks, was hanging out, had a good Easter. I think it could be my top spot of that franchise, and I adored it. But let me know down below in the comments what you think. If you loved it, if you hate it, if you hate me, if you love me. Do you hate my Honda? I do sometimes. But, you know, it's got 27 pieces of flair. It's got leopard seats, you know. Tell me what you like, what you hate. All that good stuff down there. That's all I got. If there's anything y'all want me to watch, talk about, put it down there too. I'm kind of just going on a whim. Whatever I watch, whatever I feel like talking about, I just turn the camera on and go, because I don't need production value, you know. I had other channels where I would put hours and hours and hours into production and do all this, and days, and try to get this angle and do this and change, and it would get like 9 views. It just pissed me. So I was like, fuck it. I'll just throw my camera up in my car. I don't got to worry about my kids running around. I don't have to. I don't got to worry about really editing anything crazy. I'll just bullshit about horror movies, and hopefully I'll like that. And if you don't, put it down below. I guess I'll work on my personality and being myself. But that's it, guys. Let me know what you think. All that good shit that every other YouTuber says, blah, blah, blah. Do the things. Y'all are the best. Peace.